60,000 years ago, Earth stood bright in the center of the night sky. Cities glowed like stars. Oceans were calm. Forests were green. Humanity believed it would live forever. But deep in space, far beyond every known world, something watched. Something powerful. Something patient. This enemy was called the Varkon Dominion, a race of cold-blooded conquerors. For thousands of years they had destroyed one world after another. When they found Earth, they saw humans building fast, learning fast, growing fast. They feared that one day humanity would challenge them. The Varkon Emperor decided not to wait. He ordered one thing: erase Earth. Leave no human alive. And so, on a silent night, the sky burned. Massive Varkon warships jumped into orbit. They covered the heavens like dark clouds. People looked up with confusion, fear, and helplessness. Before anyone understood what was happening, the attack began. Blue beams struck the cities. Mountains cracked. Oceans boiled. The earth shook like it was crying. Billions died without even knowing who their enemy was. The Varkon ships circled the planet again and again until everything was ash and fire. The Varkon believed they had won. But far away, on the edge of the solar system, one last human project still lived. It was a large escape ark named EOS 12, created for deep space exploration, not war. When Earth was attacked, EOS 12 had been preparing for launch. Scientists and volunteers rushed inside as shockwaves filled the sky. The ship escaped only seconds before the surface tore apart. Inside EOS 12, 10,000 humans slept in cold stasis. Their hearts slowed. Their memories froze. Time meant nothing. The ship was programmed to travel endlessly, searching for a safe world. As Earth died behind them, humanity drifted into darkness. Days passed, then years, then centuries. The Ark crossed empty space, silent and forgotten. Stars were born and died while the humans slept. Civilizations rose and fell across the galaxy. But the Ark never stopped. It simply moved forward, like a ghost carrying the last echo of Earth. 60,000 years later, EOS 12 floated near a strange nebula. Its engines were dying. Its power was fading. The ship sent weak distress signals into the void, hoping someone might hear. Someone did. A small alien scout vessel, not Varkon but another peaceful species called the Tolari, detected the signal. Curious, they approached the old Ark, not knowing what history rested inside. When the Tolari opened the main door, cold air rushed out like a long-held breath. The hallways were dark. Dust drifted in the air. But when they reached the center chamber, they froze. 10,000 sleeping humans lay in rows like silent soldiers. The Tolari had never seen such a species before. They checked the records of the Ark. The language inside was old, but the message was clear. We are the last humans. Earth has fallen. The Tolari debated what to do. Many feared waking an unknown species. But their leader, Maylar, believed something different. He said, if they survive this long, then their story is not finished. They repaired the power systems and activated the revival sequence. One by one, the stasis pods opened. Slow breaths turned into sharp gasps. Eyes blinked after 60,000 years of darkness. Confusion filled the chamber. People touched their faces, not believing they were still alive. Among them was Commander Orion Hale, once an officer in Earth's defense fleet. When his eyes opened, he looked around with shock, pain, and questions burning inside him. Maylar stepped forward carefully. You are safe. You have been sleeping for a very long time. Orion asked only one thing. What happened to Earth? The Tolari explained everything they could. How they found the Ark. How the planet records showed Earth was destroyed long ago. How the Varkon still ruled a great part of the galaxy. The room fell silent. Many humans cried. Some fell to their knees. Some shouted in anger. They were the last of their kind, and their home existed now only as broken memory and floating dust. But Orion stood still, eyes sharp, jaw tight. His heart felt heavy with sorrow but burning with something stronger. We survived, he said slowly. Even when they tried to erase us, we survived. A Tolari warned him, the Varkon Dominion is powerful. They control thousands of worlds. They will destroy you if you go near them. Orion answered with a calm, cold voice. They destroyed our world. They killed our families. We cannot run from them forever. He placed his hand on the glass of his empty pod. This ark carried us across 60,000 years of darkness. Now we will carry justice across the stars. Humans gathered around him. Their eyes changed from fear to determination. They were weak, tired, lost in a galaxy that no longer knew them. But their spirit was alive. Malar watched them and whispered to himself, "Humans are not like any species we have met." The humans prepared to leave the ark. They needed a base, a ship, a way to stand again. Their long sleep was over. As Orion looked into the star-filled sky outside the window, he made a silent promise. "We will return to Earth, and the ones who destroyed it will fear humanity again." The universe had forgotten humans. But now, humanity had awakened, and vengeance had awakened with them. The Tolari homeworld, Nephra, was nothing like Earth. Its sky glowed purple, its forests shimmered with silver leaves, and its ocean sparkled like liquid crystal. For the newly awakened humans, everything felt strange. Every sound, every color, every smell reminded them that their home was gone. Yet Nephra offered something precious, a chance to stand again. After 60,000 years of drifting, the humans were weak. Their muscles were thin, their bones stiff, and their minds filled with confusion. But inside them lived a fire the galaxy had not seen in thousands of years. Commander Orion Hale stood outside the ark, staring at the alien horizon. "We survived," he whispered. "Now we rise." The Tolari people treated the humans with kindness. They offered food, shelter, and technology. But they also feared one thing, the Varkon Dominion. The Varkon were ruthless. Anyone who helped humans could become a target. Still, Malar, the Tolari leader, believed humans deserved a second chance. He invited Orion to a council hall where shimmering lights floated in the air like soft stars. The Tolari elders sat in tall silver chairs, watching Orion with curious eyes. Malar spoke gently. "Commander, we want to help you. But the Varkon are powerful. Their fleets destroy entire worlds. If they learn you live, they will come for all of us." Orion answered without fear. "If we hide forever, they win. Humans must return to space." One elder asked, "For revenge?" Orion shook his head. "For justice. For the truth. For our home." The Tolari whispered among themselves. They saw something in the humans they could not fully understand. Strength born from pain, courage born from loss. Finally, Malar nodded. "Very well. We will help you build again." For weeks, Tolari engineers and human survivors worked side by side. They studied old human designs and combined them with Nephra technology. Humans learned new machines, new engines, new energy systems. Their minds adapted fast. Faster than any species the Tolari had ever met. A Tolari technician once said, "These humans, they learn in hours what takes us months." Human children learned even faster. They understood star maps, ship controls, and alien languages like they were born for it. Some Tolari started whispering, "Maybe this species was never meant to die." One evening, Orion entered a huge construction hangar. The air smelled of metal and energy beams. Workers surrounded a massive frame rising from the ground. A new warship, born from both human and Tolari hands. The ship's hull reflected silver and black light. Its engines pulsed like a beating heart. Malar walked beside him. "This ship is strong. We have named it the Revenant, one who returns from death." Orion touched the cold metal surface. The Revenant, fitting. Inside, humans trained non-stop. They strengthened their bodies. They learned new weapons. They studied Varkon battle reports. Every hour, they became stronger. Even the Tolari were shocked. One day, a young Tolari navigator said, "Commander, your people learn faster than any species I know. How is this possible?" Orion answered simply, "We had 60,000 years to dream of coming back." But not everything was peaceful. Some humans struggled with anger. Some cried at night, missing a home they never saw. Some felt lost in this strange future. Orion spent many nights comforting them, reminding them that the mission came first. Earth may be gone, but humanity is not. He knew their path would not be easy, but he also knew humans were built for survival. 2 months later, the Revenant was ready for its first test flight. Hundreds of humans gathered as the giant silver ship lifted into the sky. Light beams glowed under its engines. The ground shook. The Tolari cheered. Orion stood inside the bridge. Screens flickered alive. Crew members took their stations. "Begin launch sequence," Orion said calmly. Lights turned green. Engines roared. The ship rose like a reborn legend. But suddenly, a sharp alarm rang on the control panel. The sensors detected something in distant space. A tiny, cold signal. Almost too weak to notice. The engineer frowned. "Commander, we are receiving a broadcast from a remote star system." Orion stepped closer. "What kind of broadcast?" The engineer swallowed. "It uses old Earth coding." The entire bridge went silent. Earth coding? After 60,000 years? Orion felt his heart slam in his chest. "Put it on screen." The signal crackled with static. A distorted voice came through, rough, broken, but unmistakably human. "If anyone hears this, Earth still exists. Not all is lost." Gasps filled the bridge. Mela whispered, "Impossible." The message repeated, clearer this time. "Earth is alive, but under Varkon control." Orion's eyes darkened. So the Varkon didn't destroy everything. He looked around the bridge. "They took our home, and they keep it for themselves." The crew stared at him, waiting. Orion lifted his chin. "Set course for the signal. It is time for humans to return to their homeworld." The Revenant turned toward the stars. Humanity's long journey was only beginning. The journey toward the signal took several days. The crew of the Revenant barely slept. They watched the message again and again, the broken human voice, the warning, the desperate words. "Earth still exists, but under Varkon control." This single message changed everything. Hope mixed with fear. Anger mixed with longing. Humanity had dreamed of Earth for 60,000 years. Now it was within reach. Commander Orion Hale stood at the front of the bridge. His eyes stayed fixed on the star map as the ship moved closer to the old solar system. The navigator spoke softly. "Commander, we will enter the system in 3 minutes." Orion inhaled slowly. "Everyone, prepare yourselves." No one spoke. No one moved. They all felt the same heavy pressure inside their chests. The screen flashed as the Revenant exited the jump tunnel. Before them lay a sight no human had seen in 60,000 years. The sun. Still burning. Still bright. Gasps filled the bridge. "Home," someone whispered. Planets appeared one by one on the hologram. Mercury, Venus, Mars. Each exactly where it should be. But the ship ignored them all and sped toward the blue world ahead. Orion gripped the railing so tightly his knuckles turned white. Earth. The screen zoomed in. Green continents. Blue oceans. White clouds. Earth looked alive, fresh, peaceful, just as old records described. But then the sensors detected movement. A large object orbited above Earth, casting a dark shadow across the atmosphere. It was massive, metallic, cold. A Varkon fortress station. The bridge fell silent. The sensor officer's voice shook. "Commander, Earth is under full Varkon occupation. The station controls the entire planet." Orion stared at the dark structure above his homeworld. Every part of him burned with quiet fury. "They turned our world into their base." Another officer scanned deeper. "Commander, there are also Varkon patrol ships around the planet. They are scanning constantly." Orion felt something twist in his chest. "We cannot be seen. Not yet." He ordered the ship into stealth mode. The lights dimmed. Engines softened. The Revenant drifted behind a dead moon fragment, hiding in its shadow. The crew pressed closer to the screens. Earth grew larger and clearer. Forests were green again. Rivers sparkled. The planet had healed itself over 60,000 years. But at several places on the surface, the humans noticed strange tall structures, dark towers carved with Varkon markings. The science officer whispered, "They live on our world, like it belongs to them." The words cut deep. Orion clenched his jaw. It does not belong to them. It never did. The bridge went quiet when the broken human signal returned. Not all humans died. Some escaped. Some survived on Earth. The room froze. The engineer repeated, "Commander, there are humans living down there." Orion felt his heart thunder. Alive? After 60,000 years? Yes, the engineer said. The signal is weak. But it's human. Real human. The crew looked at each other with disbelief. It was impossible. Yet the signal did not lie. If humans survived on Earth, how? Did the Varkon keep them as slaves? Or prisoners? Or something worse? Orion made his decision instantly. "We find them," he said. "We see what the Varkon have done." The Revenant lowered a small stealth shuttle. Orion selected 6 crew members for the mission. Together, they descended through the clouds of the home they never knew. The moment the shuttle touched the atmosphere, gasps filled the cabin. The sky was blue. The wind sounded familiar. The ocean smelled almost exactly as old Earth records described. For a moment, everyone stayed silent, breathing deeply. "This is home," whispered a young officer with tears in her eyes. "We are really here." But their moment of peace ended quickly. Sensors beeped sharply. "Varkon patrol approaching from the east," said a crew member. "We need to stay low." The shuttle dipped into thick clouds. Through gaps, Orion saw the ground below. Wide green forests, tall mountains, and ruins of ancient human cities covered in moss. Old Earth. Lost Earth. The shuttle landed deep inside a ruined valley. Broken skyscrapers lay half-buried under vines. Streets were cracked and silent. The world felt alive, yet haunted. Orion stepped out first. His boots touched Earth soil for the first time. He knelt and pressed his hand into the dirt. "This is our planet," he whispered. "Our birthright." Suddenly, a sharp movement in the shadows. The team raised their weapons. Something, or someone, was running between the ruins. Fast. Silent. Human-shaped. Orion signaled for caution. "Do not fire." The figure moved again, closer this time. The team turned, aiming. Then a voice called out from the darkness, rough and scared. "Are you real?" The figure stepped into the light. He was human, dust-covered, wearing old, patched clothes. His eyes widened when he saw Orion and the others. Clean uniforms, advanced suits, unfamiliar symbols. "You're not from here," the man said. "You're new humans." Orion stepped forward slowly. "We came from the stars." "Who are you?" The man looked terrified. "My name is Kale, and if the Varkon find you here, you will all die." The crew exchanged shocked glances. Orion asked calmly, "Why? What have they done to our planet?" Kale lowered his head. "Earth is not a home. It is a prison. And every human on this world is trapped." The words hit the team like a hammer. Orion's eyes darkened. "Show us everything." The man nodded. "Follow me. But move fast. The Varkon will know you are here soon." The crew followed Kale into the ruins, unaware that above them, the Varkon station had detected a small energy spike. A cold metallic voice echoed through the station. "Unknown vessel detected near Earth. Verify. Eliminate." The hunt had begun. Kale moved quickly through the ruins, glancing over his shoulder every few seconds. His steps were silent, practiced. This was someone who had spent his entire life hiding. Commander Orion Hale and the 6-member team followed close behind. The ruined valley swallowed them as they entered deeper into the broken skeleton of an ancient city. Tall towers, once full of life, now stood like dead giants. Vines crawled through shattered windows. The wind whistled through empty streets. It felt like walking through a graveyard made of steel and stone. Kale spoke in a hushed voice. "You should not have come. The Varkon do not tolerate new humans. They see you as a threat. They will hunt you." Orion studied the man's thin face. We came to find the truth. What have they done to Earth? Kale stopped and pointed to the distant horizon. A tall black tower rose from the center of the old city, glowing with red marks. That is a command spire, Kale explained. The Varkon use it to control us. It watches everything. It listens to everything. No human on Earth can move freely. One of Orion's officers frowned. Control you how? Kale swallowed hard. You will see soon. But first, I must take you to our settlement. You will understand there. They continued walking, faster now, until Orion suddenly raised his hand. Stop! A low humming sound echoed from above. The team ducked behind a cracked wall. Hovering in the sky was a Varkon patrol drone, scanning the ruins with a sweeping red beam. Kale's face turned white. They're searching. They know something is wrong. The drone passed once, then stopped. It turned sharply toward their direction. Orion whispered, Incoming. Prepare quiet weapons. But before the team could move, the drone fired. A burning red bolt smashed into the ground beside them, exploding in sparks. Run! Kale shouted. The team sprinted through the ruins as the drone chased them, firing non-stop. Stones exploded. Dust filled the air. Orion aimed his compact rifle and fired a silent charged shot. The blast hit the drone's side, cracking its armor but not destroying it. The drone returned fire, narrowly missing Orion's head. Stronger than expected, Orion muttered. Kale shouted, This way! He led them into a collapsed tunnel under an old road. Darkness wrapped around them, and the humming of the drone faded above. Everyone breathed hard. Kale turned to Orion with fear in his eyes. They will send more. When a drone finds something strange, the Varkon investigate it themselves. Orion refused to show fear. Then we stay ahead of them. Lead us to your people. The tunnel opened into an underground cavern, dimly lit with makeshift lamps. Voices whispered. Shapes moved. Dozens of humans emerged from the shadows. Men, women, children, thin, tired, but with eyes that blazed with unbroken spirit. A woman stepped forward. Her hair was gray, her expression firm. I am Saran, leader of the Earthborn. Who are you? Orion stepped forward. We are humans from the Arc Eos 12. We come from far beyond this world. Shock rippled through the crowd. Some cried. Some fell to their knees. Saran's voice shook. We always believed the old humans were gone forever. But you came back. Kale whispered to her. They have weapons. Technology. They hid from the drone. Saran nodded, then looked at Orion. You must leave Earth. The Varkon will kill you. They do not allow new humans to exist here. Orion's expression hardened. We are not leaving. We came to reclaim our home. Gasps whispered through the cavern. Saran leaned close, voice low. Then you do not understand what the Varkon truly are. Before Orion could respond, the ground shook. A deep thunder echoed through the cavern walls. Kale's eyes widened. No, they found the entrance. Saran screamed. Everyone inside the inner shelters. Now! The walls trembled as something heavy landed above the tunnel. Dust fell from the ceiling. A loud metallic screech echoed, the sound of Varkon armor. Orion turned to his team. We hold them back. Protect these people. His officers nodded without hesitation. The entrance exploded. A tall armored figure stepped inside, a Varkon enforcer. Its skin was pale gray, its armor sharp and black, its eyes glowing with cold blue fire. It stood almost 8 feet tall. The enforcer hissed in a deep mechanical voice. Humans detected. Eliminate. It charged. Orion rolled aside as the creature smashed through a pile of stones like paper. His team fired together, bright bolts hitting the enforcer's chest. The creature staggered, but did not fall. Kale yelled, Their armor is too strong. Orion's eyes narrowed. Then aim for the joints. He slid beneath the creature, firing upward. The blast struck the enforcer's shoulder joint. Sparks flew. It roared in pain. But the enforcer struck back, swinging its massive arm and hitting one of Orion's officers. The man flew into a wall and collapsed. The enforcer raised its arm to crush him. Orion leaped forward and fired a charged shot directly into the neck joint. This time the creature fell hard. The cavern shook again. 2 more enforcers stepped inside. Saran screamed, "There are too many!" Orion stood tall, rifle glowing with heat. "We don't run. We fight." His team formed a defensive line. Kale watched with wide eyes. These new humans, they fight like no one we have seen. One enforcer roared, "The old humans have returned. The Varkon Council must be warned." Then they charged. Orion clenched his rifle and whispered, "This is our planet. We will take it back, one battle at a time." The cavern exploded into chaos. The first blood of the new war had been spilled. The cavern shook as the last Varkon enforcer fell. Smoke filled the air. The ground was covered with broken stone, shattered armor pieces, and burn marks from human weapons. Commander Orion Hale stood breathing hard. His uniform was torn, his arm bleeding, but his eyes remained sharp. His team gathered around him, ready for more, but no more soldiers entered. For now, the attack was over. Saran, leader of the Earthborn, hurried toward them. "You killed an enforcer. No one on this planet has ever done that." Orion glanced at the fallen creature. "They bleed. They break. They can be defeated." Kale nodded slowly. Maybe the Varkon are not gods." Saran frowned. "Do not speak too soon. They will return in greater numbers." The humans from the surface rushed to help Orion's injured officer. Children peeked out from behind rocks, watching the new humans with wide, shining eyes. For the first time, hope flickered in the cavern. Saran pointed deeper into the tunnels. "You must come with me. I think you need to see something." Orion followed her, confused but alert. The tunnels grew narrower, older, carved before the Varkon arrived. Strange markings lined the walls, symbols from ancient human civilizations, now covered with dust. Kale whispered, "These tunnels are from old Earth, made before the fall." Finally, they reached a sealed chamber. Saran placed her hand on a scanner built from old metal and stone. The door opened with a heavy echo. Inside sat a massive ancient machine. Dust covered its surface. Soft blue lights flickered weakly in its core. It looked older than anything Orion had ever seen. "What is this?" he asked. Saran stepped closer. "Your ancestors left this behind. A message. A warning." Orion frowned. "A warning about what?" Saran stared at him with a calm, heavy sadness. "About how Earth fell." The chamber grew silent. Orion walked around the ancient machine. It felt cold, untouched for thousands of years. After a long moment, Saran said quietly, "Your people were not destroyed by the Varkon alone." Orion froze. "What do you mean?" Saran swallowed hard. "There was a traitor, a human who worked with the Varkon, someone who betrayed Earth from the inside." The words cut deeper than any weapon. Orion's officers gasped. Kale whispered, "He helped the Varkon enter Earth's defenses. He opened the gates for them." Orion's voice hardened. "Do you know his name?" Saran nodded slowly. "The records call him Merrick Hale." Orion's blood went cold. "His last name, Hale." The chamber became still and quiet. Orion's heart hammered. "That name is the same as mine." Saran looked at him carefully. "We know. The machine recognized your DNA when you entered the tunnel. The traitor's bloodline continued. That is why you could open the door." Orion staggered back, shocked. His team looked at him with disbelief. "Commander, your ancestor betrayed Earth?" Orion clenched his fists. "My family destroyed our world?" "No," Saran said firmly. "Not your family. One man, one choice. And we do not judge you by that." But Orion couldn't shake the weight that crashed onto his heart. The shame, the anger, the confusion. Kale spoke softly. "Maybe this is why humans from the stars returned. Maybe your line was meant to fix what was broken." Orion stared at the ancient machine, struggling to breathe. His officer tried to reassure him. "Commander, that was 60,000 years ago. It has nothing to do with who you are." But the words did not help. Orion stepped forward. "Activate the message." Saran touched a panel. The chamber lights dimmed. The ancient machine hummed for the first time in thousands of years. A small hologram flickered to life. It showed a human man dressed in old Earth military armor. His face was tired, twisted with guilt. "My name is Merrick Hale," the hologram said, his voice shaking. "If you see this, then Earth has fallen. And I am the reason." Orion's jaw tightened. The hologram continued. "I thought I was saving humanity by working with the Varkon. They promised protection, promised peace. I believed them. But they lied. They destroyed everything." The man looked down in shame. "To whoever watches this, I beg you, do not trust them. Do not bow to them. Rise against them." The hologram faded away. Silence took over the chamber. Orion felt something heavy inside him. Pain, anger, and an old guilt he never knew existed. Saran placed a gentle hand on his shoulder. "You are not your ancestor. His mistake does not chain you. But you needed to know the truth." Orion closed his eyes, breathing deeply. "No more running. No more hiding. The Varkon destroyed our world once. We will not let them do it again." Suddenly, a loud alarm echoed through the cavern. A young Earthborn boy ran in, yelling, "Commander Orion! The Varkon have found our settlement. They are coming in full force." Saran's face paled. "We do not have enough fighters." Orion's eyes hardened like steel. "You have us." He turned to his team. "We hold this ground. Humans stand together. No matter the past. No matter the danger." Kale nodded. "Then prepare, Commander. Because the Varkon are almost here." Above them, loud engines rumbled. Shadows fell across the ruins. The next battle for Earth had begun. The warning sirens started before the sun rose. A deep rumble passed over the ocean, shaking the old mountains and waking every human camp across Earth. Commander Orion Hale stood on the cliffside, watching the sky change color. A thin red line appeared above the clouds. It grew wider, brighter, heavier. It was not the sunrise. It was the Varkon war fleet. For the first time in 60,000 years, Earth was about to face the same enemy that once erased it. And this time, humanity was ready. Across the rebuilt bases, men and women ran to their stations. The Revenant, their flagship, rose from its bunker with glowing engines. Smaller human ships followed behind it like sharp metal arrows. They were fewer in number, but each one carried new weapons and new courage. Orion touched the old soil under his boots. He whispered, "We came back for this." Then he activated his comm, "All units, prepare for battle. Today we defend our home." The sky cracked open. Dozens of Varkon destroyers dropped from orbit like falling stars. Each one was bigger than human ships, dark, armored, and shaped like a blade. Their engines burned purple. Their cannons charged with deadly light. The Varkon commanders were confident. They believed humans were still weak creatures from a forgotten age. But that belief was about to break. The first Varkon destroyer fired a massive plasma beam toward the coast. The blast moved fast, shaking the air and boiling the sea. Many would have died, but the Earth itself responded. Huge metal towers rose from hidden bunkers along the coastline. They opened like giant flowers, revealing crystal cores glowing blue. The planetary shield activated. A bright barrier spread across the entire coastline, stopping the beam before it touched the ground. The impact cracked the sky with thunder. Even the Varkon ships paused in surprise. "Shields holding," a human officer announced. "Strength at 92%. The humans had found this ancient system in the ruins beneath old Europe. It was created by the first humans long before the fall of Earth. Now, after 60,000 years, their creation defended their descendants once again. Orion stepped onto the bridge of the Revenant. "Target the nearest destroyer. Fire when ready." The ship's cannons aimed upward and unleashed a focused blue beam. It struck the destroyer's armor, carving a burning line across its hull. The Varkon responded quickly, sending fighters and drones toward the human fleet. Dozens of purple lights rushed downward. "Fighters incoming!" shouted a pilot. Human jets rose to meet them. The sky turned into a maze of fire and smoke. The sound of engines, explosions, and metal screams echoed across the world. In the middle of the battle, Lieutenant Mara spotted something strange. "Commander, one of their ships is not attacking. It's scanning the planet." Orion's eyes narrowed. "They want to find the planetary core. If they destroy it, the shield will fall." He made the call instantly. "All units, protect the core chamber. If it falls, the planet falls." As the battle raged above, deep under the earth, a huge machine woke up. It was a rotating sphere surrounded by old symbols. Light flickered across its surface. The machine had been silent for 60,000 years, but the enemy's scans woke it. A calm voice echoed through the chamber. "Threat detected. Activating defense protocol." Huge metallic pillars rose from the ocean floor and the deserts. They pointed toward the sky. Moments later, they fired powerful gravity pulses. The waves of force twisted the air and bent the clouds. A Varkon destroyer was caught in the pulse. Its metal body folded as if crushed by an invisible hand. It fell into the ocean, exploding into flames and steam. The humans cheered as more gravity traps activated. The Varkon fleet was pushed back. Their formation broke. Their ships crashed into each other in confusion. But the victory was brief. A dark shadow appeared behind the Varkon lines. A ship larger than anything humanity had ever seen stepped through the clouds of fire. Its hull was black and gold. Its engines glowed white. Its presence made every human radar scream in alarm. The Varkon Emperor had arrived. His flagship, the Divine Rift, dwarfed every other ship. 10 kilometers long, covered in ancient symbols, powered by technology older than most known species. Orion felt the weight of its arrival. So, the real war begins now. The Divine Rift opened its main cannon. A swirling beam of pure energy formed at its center. Even from the surface, people could see the light building in the sky. "Shields will not hold against that," Mara said quietly. Orion clenched his fists. "Then we don't let it fire." He ordered all ships to target the massive cannon. Human vessels flew forward like silver spears. The sky shook as hundreds of missiles and beams hit the Emperor's ship. But the armor was too strong. The damage was not enough. The cannon continued to charge. A deep hum filled the air. Birds fled. Oceans trembled. The ground itself vibrated. Humanity was seconds away from losing everything again. Orion gave one final order. "All forces, prepare for a direct assault. We take the Emperor head-on." And as the Divine Rift aimed its cannon at Earth, the screen on the bridge flickered. A traitor's face appeared. "Commander," the traitor said coldly, "it's time the truth comes out." The cannon reached full power. The fate of Earth hung by a thread. The Divine Rift floated above Earth like a giant shadow ready to swallow the planet whole. Its main cannon glowed brighter with every passing second. If it fired, Earth would be destroyed again, just like 60,000 years ago. On the Revenant's bridge, Commander Orion Hale stared at the traitor's image on the screen. His face was calm, almost proud. "Why?" Orion asked, his voice steady but cold. The traitor, Lieutenant Arden, smirked. "Because humans should never have returned. We were meant to stay gone forever. The Varkon promised me a place at their side. A world without chaos. A world ruled by strength." Orion clenched his fists. "You betrayed your own species." Arden lifted a device. "And now, Commander, I will finish what was started long ago." He pressed a button. The planetary shields flickered. The blue glow across Earth weakened. Cracks formed in the light like broken glass. "Shields dropping," a human officer shouted. "We won't survive another direct hit." Orion took a deep breath. He knew what had to be done. "Mara," he said, "track Arden's location. I'm going after him." Mara grabbed his arm. "Commander, the Emperor's cannon." "That cannon fires," Orion said, "and everyone dies. We stop the traitor first." Then we take down the Emperor. Mara nodded. Good luck, Commander. Orion moved through the corridors of the Revenant as alert lights flashed red on every wall. The ship shook under enemy fire. Sparks rained from damaged panels. But he kept walking, steady and ready. Arden hid deep inside the engineering section. When Orion reached the main reactor chamber, the door was half open. Smoke rose from inside. A trail of wires led to a control panel that had been hacked. Arden stood next to the reactor, holding a plasma blade. You are too late, he said. The shields are falling. The Emperor will finish Earth within minutes. Orion stepped forward. You think he will spare you? You're a tool to him. Arden laughed. Then I will be a useful tool. He charged. The two men fought between the glowing pipes of the reactor. Arden was fast, fueled by anger and pride. Orion fought with calm strength, blocking every strike. Sparks flew each time their blades clashed. The floor trembled under their feet as the Revenant took another hit. Arden lunged. Orion dodged and struck his arm. The traitor screamed, dropping his weapon. Orion grabbed him and pushed him against the wall. It's over, Orion said. Arden smiled weakly. No, it has only begun. Before Orion could react, Arden bit down on a small device hidden in his teeth. A sharp electric pulse spread across his body. His eyes went dull. He slid to the floor, dead by his own hand. Orion stared at him for a long moment. Then he opened the control panel Arden had sabotaged. Sparks jumped out. The shield generators were overloaded, close to total meltdown. But there was a way out. A manual reset. Bridge, Orion said into his comm. I'm restoring the shields. Mara replied. Commander, the Emperor's cannon is seconds away from firing. Orion pressed his hand against the reset core, ignoring the burning heat. He forced the circuits back into place. He connected the broken conduits with his bare hands. Sparks tore through his gloves. And then, a thunderous boom shook the atmosphere. The sky lit up. But it was not the Emperor's cannon. The planetary shields came back online, blazing brighter than before. The entire crew cheered. Mara shouted, Shields at full strength. Earth is protected. Orion breathed hard. Now we end this. The Revenant led the charge. Human ships regrouped behind it, flying in formation. The Varkon fleet tried to stop them, but the humans moved with one fierce goal: protect their home. The Divine Rift turned its massive cannon toward Orion's fleet, ready to fire again. Orion's voice boomed across all channels. Target the Emperor's cannon. Every ship fire. Hundreds of missiles, beams, and torpedoes shot into space. The Divine Rift's shields cracked under the force. Its golden armor broke. The giant cannon sparked violently. The Emperor himself appeared on the main screen. His voice was deep and filled with fury. You humans were meant to vanish from the universe, he growled. You return only to die again. Orion stared at him. 60,000 years ago, you destroyed our home. Now we are here to take it back. The Emperor raised his hand. Then face extinction once more. He initiated the cannon's overload. The Divine Rift began building energy far beyond safe limits. He's going to destroy us all. Mara shouted. No, Orion said. He's going to destroy himself. Orion gave the final command. Full assault. Hit the cannon with everything. Human ships accelerated. The Revenant flew straight at the Divine Rift. The sky turned white from the heat of the battle. The Emperor's cannon overloaded. A massive explosion swallowed the Varkon flagship. The shockwave rippled across the battlefield. Varkon ships panicked and scattered. Some crashed into each other. Others retreated into deep space. When the light faded, the Divine Rift was gone, and Earth was still standing. Silence returned to the sky. Humans cheered across every base. Families hugged. Soldiers cried with relief. For the first time in 60,000 years, Earth was truly free. On the bridge, Mara looked at Orion. It's over. Orion shook his head. Not yet. The screen behind them flickered. An ancient human symbol appeared. Then a calm voice spoke. Awakening complete. Human Defense Network online. New threat detected. Far beyond this galaxy. Orion took a slow breath. The war with the Varkon was only the beginning. Humanity's true enemy was still out there. Waiting. Watching. And the next battle would decide the fate of the entire universe.